Good morning, friends. Today we are going to start with the next topic, that is genomic library screening. This topic is the next bit of the genomic library construction. After that comes the genomic library screening. Okay. So, what is the screening of genomic library? Once the genomic library has been created, it is screened to identify the genes of interest. Means the genes of our interest, means for example, if you can say the genes which are responsible for insulin production, that may be of our that may be the gene of interest of our experiment. So one of the most common library screening technique is called colony hybridization. In the process of library construction, Phage vectors are used. Then the process of identification of gene of interest involved is the plaques hybridization. Means what? We have to hybridize the plaques which are being obtained during the experiment. Okay? Means automatically the concept may come in your mind that plaques is directly proportional to the bacteriophages. Means what? The bacteriophages are going to produce the plaques, and we are going to hybridize the plaques or the gene of the bacteriophage. Now, what is colony hybridization? Colony hybridization is the screening of library with a labeled probe. It may be a radioactive probe to identify a specific sequence of DNA, RNA, enzyme, protein, or an antibody. Okay, is what in hybridization it is we have to screen the library with a labeled radioactive element, and we have to label the radioactive element. There are various chemicals which are available in the market which can radioactively label the DNA, RNA, enzyme, protein, or the antibody, and these chemicals are used for colony hybridization technique, which is used for screening of genomic libraries. Now, this is a schematic representation of the colony hybridization, in which the nitrocellulose disc is taken and it is removed. We have to break upon the bacteria with NaOH. We have to neutralize it, treat with the protease enzyme. We have to bake at 80 degrees Celsius to immobilize the DNA on the disc. We have to hybridize with the radioactive probe, that is autoradiography experiment is carried out, and we have to take the DNA print of the colonies. Okay, so transformant colonies are taken first. The first step is to take the transformant colonies growing on the agar surface. Okay, we have to retain the master plate and the reference set of colonies, that is red colony has DNA complementary of the probe is taken, and then nitrocellulose disc is removed. Then we have to break upon the bacteria with NaOH, neutralize it, treat with protease enzyme, wash, bake at 80 degrees Celsius and immobilize the DNA on the disc. Then hybridize the DNA with the radioactive probe by using autoradiography technique. We have to take the DNA print of the colonies and carry out the X-ray film. Next technique is the plaque hybridization. What is the plaque hybridization? The plaques are screened by a technique which is based on the hybridization of oligonucleotide probe to target the DNA. And the DNA is transferred directly from the petri dish to the filter. Okay, and which is then incubated with labeled probes. Probes are used which are labeled in nature. Now the master plate and the nitrocellulose filter are placed. Nitrocellulose filter is placed on the master plate. Okay, and the phage plaques are formed on it. The phages are transferred to the filter. Then we have to denature the plaques and hybridize with the probe, with the probe, and we have to perform the autoradiography experiment. Now, what are the applications of genomic library? The first application is genomic library construction is the first step in any DNA sequencing projects. Okay, genomic library helps in identification of the novel pharmaceutically important genes. Then genomic library helps in identification of the new genes which were silent in the host. Okay, some of the genes are silent in the host. This genomic library helps in identification of the new genes which are silent in the host. It helps us in understanding the complexity of the genomes. Then it serves as a source of genomic sequence for generation of transgenic animals through genetic engineering. Then we have to study the function of regulatory sequences in vitro and the study of genetic mutation in cancer tissues. These are various applications of construction of genomic libraries. Now, what is the cDNA library or the screening of cDNA library we are going to see? Complementary DNA molecules which are synthesized from the mRNA molecules in the cell, they are called the cDNA library. Then this is the schematic representation of the cDNA library where we have to isolate and collect the mRNA. We have to carry out the reverse transcription of that mRNA. DNA is synthesized and it is ligated into the target plasmid. Okay, then the culture is produced. Okay, it is cultivated in the culture. Then we have to isolate the plasmid and purify the plasmid. That plasmid which you have been the DNA which is being isolated is sequenced and the library is generated. We have to constitute some of the portion of the transcriptome of the organism. Okay, then the cDNA is produced from fully transcribed mRNA found in the nucleus. Therefore, it contains only the expressed genes of an organism. So, tissue specific cDNA libraries can be produced. cDNA is created from from a mature mRNA from a eukaryotic cell with the use of an enzyme known as reverse transcriptase. In eukaryotes, a poly A tail distinguishes mRNA from tRNA, and rRNA can therefore be used as a primer site for the reverse transcription. What are the steps in cDNA library creation? First is the mRNA extraction. Second is the methods, the triazole extraction, column purification. We have to use it by using oligomeric dinucleotide nucleotide coated resins where only the mRNA having the poly A tail will bind. The rest of the RNAs are eluted out. The mRNA is eluted by using eluting buffer and some heat to separate the mRNA strands from the oligodimers. Okay. Once the mRNA is purified, the oligo-DT is tagged as a complementary primer which binds to the poly A tail, providing a free 3-OH end that can be extended by reverse transcriptase to create the complementary DNA strand. Okay. Now the mRNA is removed by using a RNase enzyme, leaving a single-stranded complementary DNA. That is single-stranded complementary DNA. This single-stranded complementary DNA is converted into a double-stranded DNA with the help of DNA polymerase. However, what happens? The DNA polymerase to synthesize the complementary strand of free-OH end is needed. This is provided by the single-stranded complementary DNA itself by generating a hairpin loop at the 3' end by coiling on itself. Now polymerase extends the 3-OH end and later the loop at the 3' end is opened by the scissoring action of S1 nuclease. Now the restriction endonucleases and the DNA ligase are then used to clone the sequences into the bacterial plasmids. The cloned bacteria are then selected. They are commonly through the use of the antibiotic selection. Once selected, the stock of the bacteria are created which can later be grown and sequenced to compile the cDNA library. This is the cDNA library which is being created. A cell is taken, DNA is isolated from it. Okay. Then restriction enzyme digestion is carried out. Then it is ligated and it is inserted into the bacteria. Okay. Some of the times the vector is used and restriction enzyme digestion is carried out, ligation is carried out, and it is inserted into the bacteria. Now cDNA library, in cDNA library creation, mRNA is isolated. It is converted into cDNA by using reverse transcriptase. Then the ligation of linkers is carried out, then restriction enzyme digestion is carried out, then digestion of restriction enzyme is carried out and it is ligated into the bacteria. This is the difference between the genomic library and the cDNA library. Now, what are the uses of cDNA library? cDNA libraries are commonly used when reproducing eukaryotic genomes, as the amount of information is reduced to remove the large number of non-coding regions from the library. cDNA libraries are used to express eukaryotic genes in prokaryotes. cDNA libraries are used, they are most useful in reverse genetics, where the additional genomic information is of less use. Also, it is useful for subsequently isolating the genes that codes for that particular mRNA. Now, if you compare the cDNA library versus the genomic DNA library, cDNA library lacks the non-coding and the regulatory elements found in the genomic DNA. As well as the genomic DNA libraries, they provide more detailed information about the organism, but they are more resource intensive to generate and maintain. Now, what are the screening procedures? Screening is the first procedure. Colony and plaque hybridization is carried out, then expression screening is carried out, then hybrid arrest and release. Now, in the screening process, the process of identifying one particular clone containing the gene of interest from among the very large number of others in the gene library is carried out. The identification of the specific clone from a DNA library can be carried out by using either the sequence of the clone or the structure functions of its expressed products. The screening the product of a clone is applied only to expression libraries where the DNA fragment is expressed to yield proteins and the product is recognized by the antibody or the ligand. Screening of libraries. Searching the genes of interest in the DNA library. Hybridization to identify the interested DNA or its RNA product. Then radio-labeled probes are used, which is complementary to a region of the interested gene. Then hybridize the labeled probe with DNA membrane by using southern or RNA northern membrane. Hybrid arrest and screen. Individuals' complementary DNA clones or pools of clones can be used to hybridize to mRNA preparation. Now, how the hybrid arrest is carried out, that we can see. We have to translate the mRNA population directly and the inhibition of translation of some products detected. Second is the hybrid release translation, that is carried out by purifying the hybrids and the hybridized mRNAs released from them and translated. It identifies the pattern encoded by the cDNA clone. Now, screening libraries for specific genes. We have to isolate the individual clones. Then second step is to screening by sequence, that is hybridization and the polymerase chain reaction is carried out. And third is the screening by protein structure and biological function. Now, screening by hybridization. It is very fast. It is applicable to a large number of clones and can identify clones that are not full length. Okay, this is the same picture, schematic representation of a replica plate into the nitrocellulose stick, which is taken from the transformed colonies growing on agar surface. We have to retain the master plate for reference. Then nitrocellulose disc is removed. Then we have to break open the bacteria with NaOH, strong alkali. Sodium hydroxide is used. We have to neutralize it and treat with protease enzyme. Wash it and bake it at 80 degrees Celsius to immobilize DNA on the disc. Then hybridize with the radioactive probe. Autoradiography is carried out. So this is also one of the technique which is used. Okay. So screening by PCR was carried out to isolate specific DNA sequences from genomic DNA, and now it has been a useful technique for library screening. This method is first demonstrated by Takumi and Irish in 1994. To isolate a specific clone, the PCR is carried out with specific gene primers that flank a unique sequence in the target. Pools of the clones are maintained in multi-well plates, and each well is screened by the PCR and positive wells are identified. Now, what is done to express the library screening? We have to identify the protein product of an interested gene. If a DNA library is established using expression vectors, each individual clone can be expressed to yield a polypeptide. This type of screening is important where the DNA sequence or the target sequence is unknown. Protein activity is carried out and the Western blotting is used with using a specific antibody. Expression screening. These are the antibodies can be used to screen the expression library. The procedure is we have to take the plaque lift by taken by the placing a membrane on the dish of the plaque. Then it is immersed into a solution of the antibody and it is detected by other antibodies, and the repeated cycles of screening is carried out to isolate the pure plaques. Immunological screening is carried out. It was first carried out in 1970 when plasmid vectors were used to construct the genomic libraries. Immunological screening involves the use of the antibodies that specifically recognize antigenic determinants on the polypeptide. This technique can be applied to any protein for which an antibody is available. Okay, the molecular target for recognition is generally an epitope. Earlier, what it was done, immunoscreening methods were employed using radio-labeled primary antibodies to detect antibody binding to the nitrocellulose sheet. It is now superseded by antibody sandwiches, resulting in highly amplified signals. The secondary antibody recognizes the constant region of the primary antibody and is additionally conjugated to an easily assayable enzyme, that is the horseradish peroxidase or alkaline phosphatase, which can be assayed using colorimetric change or emission of light using X-ray film. The procedure for creating this technique is the cells are grown as colonies on master plates and transferred to a solid matrix. Then these colonies are subjected to lysis, releasing the proteins which bind to the matrix. Then these proteins are treated with a primary antibody which specifically binds to the protein, acting as an antigen. The unbound antibodies are removed by washing. The secondary antibody is added which specifically binds to the primary antibody, removing the unbound antibodies by washing. The secondary antibody carries an enzyme label, that is horseradish peroxidase or alkaline phosphatase, bound to it, which converts colorless substrate to colored product. The colonies with the positive results are identified and subcultured from the master plate. Now this is a schematic representation of the master plate which is subcultured from the master plate. Then colony cells are transferred, lysis of the cell matrix, a cell protein bound to the matrix, then primary antibody is produced. Then when the primary antibodies are produced, the secondary antibodies are produced by the color reaction and immunological screening is carried out. Thank you very much. I am very thankful to all the students of MSc as well as BSc, whoever is watching this video. I request you to WhatsApp me after watching this video, and if you have any doubts you can message me at the end of this lecture. Please hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.